We noticed in that film with watching Amon Mimbu, Jalon Walker, another presumptive top 10 pick. Hopefully,
All right.
Might be around for 10th pick.
Before we get into this, you excited for this draft? It's April.
I'm always excited for one, the Bears having a top pick. Two, we can get a player that possibly completes our comeback.
Do you have anywhere you're leaning in the top 10 right now? I mean, with realistically, who could be there at 10? I had a Bear fan ask me about Abdul Carter, and I said, "You must want to trade next year's first round pick. Or you must want him to go to jail because that's the only way he's going to number 10."
Mm-hmm. Realistically, my top three guys, I would prefer to see at number 10. Well, I would prefer the Bears to pick if they were available. It would be number one, Mimbu out of Missouri. Two would be Will Campbell, and three, this guy on film right here.
Let's get into it.
He's an outside linebacker right here. He's look like he's
look like he's in the wheel. Yeah, he's opposite the strong side.
Yeah.
Man, he's really tough to block. From the limited film I've seen, he brings way more power than the 240 pounds he weighs. Look at that pursuit. Way more than 240 pounds he's listed at. 243, 245.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a really good pursuit. He's got a motor.
Yeah, that's an interior lineman he blew through.
Now this is Georgia versus Texas. Again, he's lined up outside linebacker. Doesn't bite on the pump fake. I like that.
No, he didn't. Caused the incompletion there. He's really playing off the ball a lot, but that's really good at the point. That's an interior guard. He disengages and still fills that gap. I know a lot of Bears fans have expressed that he doesn't fit into the Dennis Allen scheme because A, they've seen him playing off ball in college. B, he's not big, but I don't have no problems with his size with what I've seen from his physicality on film. I think he could line up with his hand in the ground as an edge in a 4-3. No, I know his size isn't ideal for an edge. He's 6'1", 243. But this guy, he plays like a guy 2-3 inches taller and 15, 20 pounds heavier.
Yeah, as you say that, clogs the hole, stops any type of advancement from the running back. Fourth play. Again, crashing down on quarterbacks.
And the disruption. I really love how disruptive he is. I think Ben Johnson said something really important. He said, whatever you've seen from my system, he was talking about the offense, of course. He stated that we're not here to make guys necessarily fit in my system, but I want to find out what these guys do well. And I think a great coaching staff will find out how to properly utilize the players. Shout out to Tiffany, because she said something that really stuck with me, I believe, last year about Lamar Jackson, about teams not being willing to trade for him. And I had to think about it because they didn't know how to utilize his talents best. And you see with the Ravens the last couple of years with these MVP historic seasons he's had, it's really up to the coordinator not to make a guy fit into his scheme, but to use his talents and make it and scheme around what he does best. And what I see with Jalon Walker is a disruptive, speedy guy. He's got enough physicality. You got to learn how to use him. I don't care if he's an off-ball linebacker, if he's an edge rusher. What he reminds me of on canvas, a player we had years ago with a dominant defense, Roosevelt Colvin. Roosevelt, on passing downs, would put his hand in the ground and be an edge. And in the base defense would be a Sam linebacker. I see no reason you can't use Jalon Walker in the same way.
Agreed. You want players. You want guys who just know football, understand football, and is more instinct than just practice. You know what I mean? And this
Bingo.
guy,
I
he
like
looks like
that
a
word
player.
you used. I like that word you used. Instinct. I did not see it with Shamar Stewart. This guy looks. We a few plays in. I've seen a little bit of Georgia football, but we're a few plays in, and you see the instinct, like you said, didn't bite on a pump fake, still pursuing, like the angles of pursuit. I see instinct with this guy. I see a player.
This is him in coverage.
He moves well for a guy his size. I like how he peels back. He looks sticky in coverage too.
Yeah. One thing you have to do in the NFC North, you got to cover running backs.
Yeah.
And tight ends.
Oh
Apparently.
yeah. Gibbs, Laporta.
Wide 9 here. Look at that pursuit.
Flush quarterback. I know the quarterback got a first down, but you want to flush quarterbacks out the pocket and not over pursue.
Mhm.
He didn't over pursue in that one. There he's in the 2-point stance outside as an edge.
Mhm.
Man, look at how he dipped the shoulder. And that is the important thing. He's able to dip the shoulder and still maintain speed.
Look at that. Woo.
Man, these are guys that are going to be in the NFL on Sunday. He's not playing against bums. He's playing against legit tackles from big conferences.
Yeah. Yeah. He's got that move, that dip, the shoulder dip. He's got that down.
Yeah, it's the White Freeney like,
Mm.
and he's able to still gain. Now we saw Shamar Stewart dip that shoulder and then he should get shoved in the ground. He wasn't able to maintain balance and leverage when he stood back up.
Another play against Kentucky.
Oh, that's a hell of a move inside. Woo!
Yeah.
That is a big boy pass rush move.
Boom.
Look at the hands.
Yeah. And what you said, great balance. Look, he stuck his foot in the dirt and was able to power off of that. A lot of force generated on
That is
them
an
steps.
NFL edge rusher move. I would love for him to slide because of the concerns about his size, because I'm not worried about it.
I love that move. Cause havoc.
He's already showed in 5 or 6 plays more pass rushing ability than the entire Shamar Stewart film we saw.
And another play against Kentucky. This time, look like a stunt they're pulling.
Made the quarterback get rid of the ball fast.
Yeah.
He's shifty when he peels back inside. Those guards just can't get a good hand on him. And then one hand it's not gonna stop him. He has great balance, great upper body strength. It plays with great leverage. That is utmost important as an edge rusher. Mirroring the quarterback. Man, did he close. Wow. He drops in coverage, mirrors the quarterback, and then close and forces him to get rid of the ball. That closing speed. This is the weapon the Chicago Bears defense could use. This is the weapon we haven't seen in a long time in Chicago.
With athletic as quarterbacks are nowadays, being able your wheel back or your sandbacker, whoever you want to deploy, being able to spy a quarterback effectively is an elite skill, especially for a linebacker. You don't want to use any of your secondary guys to have to do that because you want to leave them to just play the field.
You want to leave them in coverage. I want to emphasize what you said earlier about the instincts. This is an instinctual football player. He
Very
plays with a
much.
lot of high IQ, a lot of instincts, and a lot of leverage. Where would you use him at? If he's the, I've heard a lot of people say he's an edge. He's an outside back on a 3-4. Where would you use him?
Well, we're going to play. Well, teams in the NFL play nickel 68% of the time, right?
Yeah, even 3-4 teams.
Yeah, everybody's got a nickel.
Nickel is the base coverage now. It's not 3-4, 4-3. That is the base that every team runs.
Right. So in that formation, I don't want to limit him to just an edge because you want to be creative with how you deploy your defenses. I've got him roving around. I don't want him to be strict edge like you see with TJ Watt, Myles Garrett, anything like that. I want him to move around. I want him to be more in the frame of young Julius Peppers.
Or young Javon Curse.
You don't want to, again, use the word limit. You don't want to limit a guy with that type of instinctual purpose on a football field. Let him make plays.
I would have this guy, Jack Sanborn, got about, depending on the week in the offense, sometimes we saw a lot of 2 tight end packages. Jack Sanborn usually lined up as the strong side linebacker in when we were near the goal line and against 2 tight end or when we see the occasion. So I was looking at, he played about 15 to 20 snaps a game. I would have Jalon Walker first and foremost. When we do go with that 4-3, he would play that Sam. And then like you said, I would deploy him everywhere in the field. He might line up as an edge. He might line up as a second linebacker in that nickel. I would definitely be creative with how I use him and not just make him an edge. What I see from his film, I see a little bit of Micah Parsons like ability. Micah was a linebacker at Penn State, and then they moved him to the line of scrimmage. That's what I see a lot of.
Yeah, Micah is one of the most versatile defensive players in the league.
I see this with Jalon Walker.
I've seen Micah get out wide and defend wide receivers on third down. Micah's a problem. When he's committed and when he's healthy, he's a problem.
I could see Jalon. I would love to unleash him on the NFC North.
Look at that. And this is against Alabama.
Is that Tyler Booker? He may look. Who? I can't see.
No, that's an inside player.
Yeah, Booker. I think Booker was playing inside at Bama. But whoever it is, Alabama doesn't put guys on the offensive line who don't have a real possibility to play in the NFL. That club swim move is vicious on a guy that's 300-something pounds. No, this is a player. Texas. I'm not concerned about what. Okay, there he is. He's on the edge in the 2-point. The motor. He's going toe-to-toe with 300-pound guys. Oh, I love that. Instinct. Saw the chip coming. Brushed it off. Get out of here, running back. Calls the incomplete pass. Yeah, I'm with you, Pay. I would love to unleash this guy on the NFC North. Please bring back Aaron Rodgers so he could sack him 3 times a year.
Nice.
Wow.
Again. Yep. Wide out, lined out wide again.
Wow. Avoided the chip, beat the tackle, and sacked the quarterback.
So this is why the Bulldogs are so good.
Wow. This is good looking tape.
When we did the Mimbu film, Mimbu really won most of his battles against everybody. It wasn't until Jalon Walker. They was like, wow, he's losing these reps.
That's what
Jalon Walker
made.
beat a lot of tackles in the SEC. It's another
I'm not
one.
concerned with lining him up at edge, but I'm with you. I wouldn't just limit him to one position in the NFL. This is a weapon.
Yeah. I'm moving him around. I want to see him on both. I want to see him on both edges. I want to see him on shot on
He's
tight
even
ends. I want
lining
to
up
see him
inside
corner.
harassing people. He doesn't
Yeah.
get credit for that sack there, but he is the reason why that sack happens. Immediate pressure inside made the quarterback step up.
Yes. Really good football play. Really good.
Man, we haven't had a player this fun on defense in a while. This gives me the same type of excitement when I saw Urlacher and Roquan Smith in his defense and Julius Peppers.
Oh yeah.
You know, when I
Urlacher's
first heard about him, I
always
thought he was
playing.
able to pressure the quarterback just with speed. He's got legit edge rusher ability. This isn't just some speed rusher.
Now, remember last episode when we did the Mimbo tape, you watched it and you say, you know what? He's a top 5 player. You're watching this Jalon Walker tape. Where you got him?
Man, I watched a little bit of his tape on my own. I watched a Mimbo tape with you last week. This week, this looks like a top 5 player. I've seen a lot of mocks of him going to Carolina at 8. I
Yeah,
saw
me
some
too.
earlier mocks slipping the man. I would not let him slip past number 10.
Who?
I mean, if Jalon, he couldn't get past number 10 to me. And man, unless him and Mimbo were both lined up at 10, that would be a hard call.
Who would you take between the two?
Man, we might have to argue in the war room, and I'd be open to whatever. I'd be open to flipping a coin. But because Mimbo, that's such a big, dominant offensive lineman, and you got to protect Caleb. That's one reason why I was side putting as many tough guys in front of Caleb is the goal. You got to keep your quarterback upright. But having it, but
Right.
at the other end, you got to get other people's quarterback on the ground. And this guy, he's powerful. Man, calls a turnover there. He's powerful. He's instinctual. Man, I need to see extended Mason Graham and Travis Hunter footage because I don't know if Travis Hunter is. I don't think I would take Travis Hunter over him. I mean,
No,
you win in the trenches.
I wouldn't. Travis Hunter is he's a very good player on both sides of the ball, but I don't think he's transformational.
No,
Like,
I like Travis Hunter. I don't know if I'm tripping. I don't think he's a dominant corner or dominant receiver.
No, I don't think so. At least not right now.
I think he'd be good at either position. He don't have the size that I want as a receiver. I think he's fast, but he's not. Travis isn't fast where whenever he lines up, you got to be on alert. He's good speed, not ridiculous speed, not in that Tyreek Hill vein or one of those guys speed.
Right.
As a corner, he's very good, very instinctual. I mean, you every corner gets beat, but I don't know if he's a better pure corner than Will Johnson. I think he's got better wheels, so that might make me edge him over Will in this draft. But this Jalon Walker tape is impressive. I would love him to slide to 10.
Indeed.
And
In fact,
Georgia Bulldogs fare
if
very
he's
well
still on
in
the
the
board at
NFL.
7, if he's still on the board at 7, Trade up.
Listen, I didn't think I would see a guy I would trade up for. Man, he's making me think about trading up in a draft where I think the Bears can get a really good player at 10. But I'll tell you one thing, he stands out at edge. I know there's fan base building up to Genty, and I like Genty too. But if Genty and him on the board, I'm taking Jalon hands down, no question.
Yeah. I'm not even considering Genty, so
I know. Walls off the defender, keeps his outside arm free, and makes the tackle. Yeah. People, I don't know if you know what you're seeing, but this is textbook how to play as a defender. Kept the outside shoulder free, held at the point of attack. Man, it's not really too much else to say about this tape. I love it.